Hi you guys, I am back with another video. So we're going to talk about the 7 obsessions that grows. The 7 obsession that grows. When obsession grows, it can be very dangerous. So this is a word that I put out I think I did this in 2025, I believe. But this is something that God had me to teach on a lot. I don't know why He had me to teach on these obsessions like this, but He do. But this is not my first time teaching about these obsessions. I did it one time with Shifting That Time. I did it with a teaching. I did it with Build Your Ark, a series. I have taught it in so many different ways. But it's a very heavy obsession that is growing in 7 ways for you. It might resonate, it might not. All of them might resonate, then all of them may not. But I'm going to share some things that came to pass as well, along with what God wants you to know concerning the obsession. So we're going to talk about the abduction, the 2 weeks, the wounded, the groomers, the deadly obsession, and the growing obsession, and the long-term obsession. So we're going to talk about all of these to help you understand what is going on. Abduction, the 2 week, the wounded, the groomers, the deadly obsession, the growing obsession, and the long-term obsession. So let's talk about the abduction obsession. What is an abduction obsession? Abduction is something concerning stalking, kidnapping, dark romance, leading to a abduction or an obsession or a fantasy or a control to escape what is being held hostage. Now, when somebody get abducted, that means it is a part of sex trafficking, some type of sex scene, something concerning that nature. That person have a fetish for you, or they so obsessed with you that they need you in their presence to control and dictate what it is that they want from you. So it often flows into a fantasy and control, where this is a dark romance, where this person like you more than they should, or they accompany you in certain areas and they're not telling you about the obsession, so they abduct you. Now you can look at this in the natural realm or the spiritual realm. And during this time, I kept hearing, why don't you see that I am in love with you? That is an abduction obsession, where a person wants you to feel what it is that they have for you. They're not voicing it, but they're abducting you in the spiritual realm, or they're abducting you in real life, or kidnapping you in real life. And they're not explaining to you that I have this obsession with your beauty. I have this obsession with the way you look, the way that you dress. All this stuff is real. So the obsession is growing in 7 ways. And if you're not paying attention to how people are moving with you, you're going to be in trouble. And you can very well get caught off guard, where a person is using dark romance as they in love with you, they love you and all this stuff, and you can't understand why this person is doing the things that they're doing. Now, some people hide their obsession. They will act like you mean nothing to them, but behind closed doors, they watching everything concerning you. If they can reach you, if they can get in tune with you in any type of way, they're looking and watching from a distance. All right, let's talk about the 2 weeks obsession. The 2 weeks obsession is a strong interest in a person or a people following you with a topic or activity, a validation or excitement, a desire to love, and a desire to feel. But this is an obsession that can happen within 2 weeks. Meaning, you just not getting to know this person. You probably had a conversation with them over the phone or in person. And this person is already confessing, well, I like you, and I got a thing for you, whatever the case may be that they're saying. And you're saying, wait a minute, we just been chilling for 2 weeks. Or we just been chilling for a week or so. Where this stuff come from? It spooks you out because you're trying to understand, how did this obsession grow in 2 weeks? This is why I do a lot of hiding, because when people get in my presence, they want to stay in my presence. And if I'm not giving off the energy of, I want to be around them like that, then they start making up stuff to get around me, or they start saying certain things to feel my energy. And I'm not available. I'm not a person that is accessible. It's hard to get in my presence. Very, very hard, because of the things that I deal with. So some people can grow an obsession in 2 weeks. And you're saying, how in the world this person feeling like this about me? And we haven't even just really been in each other's presence. So you have to really, really pay attention in that area. All right, wound obsession. Emotional distress, damage, triggers, distract your hands, or covering the scab, or keeping certain tools away so you won't heal. Now, when you have a wounded obsession or a wound obsession, that means that you like to pick with your wounds. You like to pluck at your scab. You like to see it bleed, or you even like to feel what it is that is no longer there. I mean, you keep peeling the skin off this wound. You like to feel it like that. And so oftentimes when you see a scab or something, you're going to want to peel it off. You're going to want to peel it off because you're trying to see, well, what got this aching on my hand, or what got this aching on my life, or what got this aching on my leg. I see this scar, and then you're scratching on it, and then it begins to bleed. And so now you got to patch it up, wound it up, put a bandage on it, and all of that. Now, some people have an obsession with their wounds because they don't have the capacity to grow out of the wound. What does that mean? That means that they want to continue to stay in that place because they feel as if, okay, if I stay in this place, then I won't really have to do too much work. I can just keep picking at this scab, or keep picking at it, and it's going to keep being its normal pain, or it's going to keep being its normal pace, or it's going to keep being its normal wound. And I don't have to put anything on it because eventually I'm going to get used to the pain. So this could be an obsession where people love pain. And when they love pain, their wounds become not only do it become a scar, but it become a target of allowing them to focus on just that one pain. They forgot about all the other pain that they are going through or feeling, because they're so focused on this wound. They're obsessed with this wound. And some people don't want these types of wounds to go away. So you have to be really, really careful with that. All right, let's talk about the growing obsession, the deadly crush obsession, and the long-term obsession. Now, with the growing obsession, this is where I talk about the things that have came to pass. Now, oftentimes when a person or a people is growing an obsession for you, they're watching everything that you are doing. So these are some things that came to pass on yesterday. God doesn't lie. I'm a true prophet of God, and when I speak, things really come to pass. When I talk, it's not fluff. I'm not on here bragging. I'm not on here boasting. But everything that comes out of my mouth, whether it's a dream, open vision, me feeling a knowing, or something happening, it comes to pass. And so I'm going to share all 4 of these things that has happened. And oftentimes when an obsession has grown or an obsession is growing, people are watching everything that you are doing. They act like they don't like you. They act like they ain't watching nothing on your social media just because they ain't reacting. Just because they ain't participating doesn't mean that they ain't looking. Views tells it all. So when you're looking at, oh, well, they ain't reacting. Oh, they ain't liking. They ain't sharing. Baby, that don't mean a thing. So, oftentimes when the obsession is growing, it is some secretive that person likes about you. So, let's get into the things that came to pass. 1, the prophetess, Lord have all the mercy. This girl. I talked about this in clone energy and copycat energy. This is the same prophetess that was searching for me. When I talked about I had 2 female prophets looking for me. And this video was roughly in April sometime when God gave me that. And she was one of them. So she blocked me off Facebook. And how did I find this out? I'm minding my own little business. And a person came to me and saying the person's name. I'm not going to say her name. And I pretended like I couldn't make out who the person was talking about, so they could show me who they were. So when they pulled her up on their Facebook page, I said, well, let me look her up on my page, because, she looked familiar or whatever. Lo and behold, I was blocked. I couldn't even pull up anything. Now, I'm confused because what are you blocking me for? That is an obsession. People have they are obsessed with you. You block me from your regular page, but you're watching me off your ministry page. That is an obsession. What are you watching me for if you're blocking me? Make it make sense. So people are obsessed with everything that you got going on in your life. And again, God doesn't lie. If you dream it, if you sense it, if you smell it, if you see it, it shall come to pass. So, when God is showing you these things, He's not showing you this stuff for nothing. People are really watching you, and their obsession is growing in major ways for you. But they don't like you. They can't stand you. But they watching everything that you're doing. Crazy work. 2, somebody gave me a word. How crazy was it to be lined up with one of my Facebook posts? I'm not even going to tell you which one of the posts was. But y'all say they ain't false. But they steal stuff off your page and bring you back a word that isn't from God. Come straight to your page and lie. Now, when the person gave me the word, I received it. I took it as if, okay, glory be to God. I'm just, going along with the flow. But it was crazy because the post and the time lined up exactly as soon as the person came. That is an obsession. People are studying everything on your Facebook page. studying everything on your Instagram, on your YouTube, or at least trying to figure you out. You can't figure me out on this stuff because you don't know how I'm coming. You know I'm coming, but you don't know when and you don't know how, because my flooding be insane. So that person lined up something and said that God gave it to them, but they got it off a Facebook post. That is a growing obsession. So crazy. All right, let's get finished. Someone tried to set me up and everything backfired on them. They in deep waters and they need my prayers to get them out the hole. Oh my. Now, this particular person, I had 3 dreams about them. And I'm not going to tell you the dreams, but I already knew that this person was trying to set me up. But when they got in my midst and they began to tell me that, it's a lot of stuff that is going on, and, I'm in deep waters, and, a lot of stuff is being blamed on me, or it's my fault. I didn't say anything. I'm just listening. And they was asking for my prayers. And I can't pray for them because whatever it was that they was blamed for, or whatever it was that they got in trouble for, they tried to set me up and it didn't work. So I'm telling you, God doesn't lie. People have a growing obsession for you, but they're trying to demolish you in every way. They're trying to destroy you and they can't because of the obsession. All right, lastly, the individual lost literally everything and they need my help. I can't help them because judgment is on one's life. They treated me poorly and reap what they have sown. Suffering in their life is mad crazy. I can't help this person. They walked me like a dog. They talked about me. They did everything. And they lost everything. You don't play with a real prophet of God, because you don't know how God's going to come behind that person. But they literally lost everything. All right, let's talk about the deadly crush. The deadly crush obsession is when a person or a people have a crush on you, and they begin to crush on you to the point where it becomes an obsession. And so, I had a person recently, about 3 or 4 days ago, was telling me that they still had a crush on me, and they still liked me, and they wanted to be with me and all this stuff. They was asking me my relationship status and all of that. And I wasn't giving them no answers, because anytime a person is thirsty for your attention or thirsty for you, they'll try to kill you. So I was really moving strategically with this person, because they kept confessing that, I've been having a crush on you for so many years. And, I really want to be with you and all that. You got to pay attention to what people are saying. Those are deadly crushes of obsessions. But this person is, they're probably following you, probably watching you. God bring me back to the word I put out also, the PI situation, where it was a 5-year obsession. The Lord spoke to me about that, where somebody was going through a phase where they had a PI following them and they didn't even know, a private investigator, because of the 5-year obsession. They wanted to be with this person. They was in love with this person, all of that, and they couldn't be with them. So they had a private investigator following everything that they are doing. Those are deadly crush obsessions. All right. Long-term obsessions. Long-term obsessions is where they're interacting in different phases. It's like they conserve the energy and gain a specific source or a resource, otherwise to have access to you. That means they gonna do anything to get in your presence. They gonna talk to anybody that you talk to. They gonna get familiar with anything that you're doing just to get in your presence. So these are the obsessions, the 7 obsessions that is growing up. If I miss one, I'm going to do it in another video. But I feel like I said everything. But grace and peace to you all. When God releases me again, I'll be sure to do the will of the Father. Make sure you're paying attention to how the obsession is growing, because people are really crazy out here. Y'all be blessed.